has gone with, but they need a performance, Huddersfield.
Well, I was about to say it was hard for Huddersfield to get the ball when Nunez passed it straight out of play. So Huddersfield could reach the fourth round of this competition for the first time since 2000. Steve Bruce was the manager. I can't believe he would have been able to name the Huddersfield town manager from that year. Trafford takes a gamble. Now, did he get that inside the penalty area? He did, by a whisker.
Yeah, he's fortunate, just hesitates. And Charles not the quickest. I think Ben Wiles just put a little bit too much on the pass for him, but didn't give it up, the centre forward, and he was a little bit fortunate there, Trafford, if indeed he was inside the 18-yard box. Premier League to be playing week in, week out, so he's going to have to dust himself down again, produce on a night like tonight, and wait for an opportunity to get back into the first team. But that could be a fair old wait, couldn't it, with one of the world's greatest now at the club. And over the white line.
No VAR, but cleared and checked by Sam Parkin, so we'll say that was okay.
It was interesting, Huddersfield splitting as if they were going to roll it out to one of the centre-halves, and then Nichols clips it nicely into the body of Ben Wiles, gets them up the pitch.
And Lasse Sorensen is the right back, and now the experience. Marcus Harness was in a hurry.
There's going to be a degree of fluidity, we know that about Manchester City's front line. I think the profile of player they've got in the 11 tonight, probably right, just probably a finger in the eye. He'll be fine, I'm sure. I mean, it's difficult enough, I think, midfield for any game against Premier League opposition. You're not going to have too many players behind the ball up against League One opposition, but still, it's the different patterns, the questions they ask of you.
Here's Foden trying to ask those questions, and now Oscar Bob. Mukasa is in a winger position now, and then he finds Bob. Clipped in and past everybody. So they're dominating positionally, they're dominating in terms of possession, but not really creating chances.
No, maybe not the best example there, because he's quite close to goal, Bob, and completely within his right to just dink one in towards the intended targets. But everyone kind of coming towards the ball, nobody attacking it with vigour. Everyone probably looking for that little slip ball into feet. They need someone to just threaten the back line.
Nichols is the Huddersfield goalkeeper, playing it short. He's won his place back in the team. Been a good goalkeeper over many years, Lee Nichols. That's too much from David Kasumu. Again, Stones, Ake come forward. Nico Gonzalez is a big man as well. Foden for Manchester City tries to dink it into a near post area. Where's it gone out? It's gone out for a throw in. Dion Charles. Foden turns, gets it back again. Now he shoots. What a goal, Phil Foden. Well, they had to be patient, but then they found their way through, and the quality shone through. It was accurate, it was powerful, and it was unstoppable.
Majestic finish. Hasn't got a lot to hit there, really. Nichols springs to his left-hand side, but he's not going to stop that. It arrows into the corner. Patient again from City, and then Foden just speeds it up quick. 1-2, with a young lad, Mikasa, and then a thrilling finish. Gets real pace on it, and it's into the side netting. Nichols is not going to get a touch on that, unfortunately for him. Turning away from him all the time, and Foden just keeps on impressing.
Well, second of the season for Phil Foden. He scored against Manchester United as well. How important he could be for City if he's fully fit and firing all season.
And it comes just as I was thinking how well Huddersfield were doing, how little City had threatened them, and all of a sudden, when you're looking for someone to be the catalyst, Phil Foden gets on the ball, quick 1-2. Not even a chance, is it really? It's half a chance at best. Arrows it into the corner, and that's just the confidence and the rhythm that he's currently playing with.
Can Huddersfield have a spell of possession? Can they have a spell where they threaten? Murray Wallace, I think, is a little early there with the forward ball.
Yeah, I think tough when the game plan has been fine to this point. They've limited City to next to nothing, and then someone pulls something magnificent out of nowhere. There's not really been any gaps. There's not been any space behind for City to exploit yet. Top quality player just conjures a moment of brilliance, and you're behind and having to probably look at one or two different things for the majority of that first half. So you could tinker with what you've got out there at times, and it looks like he's retreating a little bit now, but that's an obvious thing to just adjust. He can gamble a little bit more.
So Savinho to Foden, he's trying to get beyond Sorensen. Same 11 out there for Huddersfield, but it might just be a positional, a formation tweak. Savinho sees Nico O'Reilly on the outside. He plays it into the penalty area, and it trickled through. There were important challenges there as Mikasa tried to get a shot away.
A combination of Rowan and Wallace, I believe, filling themselves in the way. It looked like it was going to be a good scoring opportunity. The aforementioned Huddersfield defenders both in there. And then again, Redmond.
And Savinho towards the edge of the penalty area, then he pulls the trigger and it was off the target.
A good movement. O'Reilly, I think it was, made a little dart. It just drew the attention of Voss to tracked him, and it allowed that space to open up. Did look like a corner. Kasumu, the second central midfield player, coming in to close. Yeah, clear as day. Should have been a corner to City.
To Nichols. City defenders. O'Reilly to Savinho. Nico Gonzalez, and O'Reilly breaks through. Here's an opportunity. Really good save by Nichols.
Read his intentions superbly well, the goalkeeper. O'Reilly, the way he was shaping up, it looked like he was going to go for the intro dink. O'Reilly, he read it, the stride pattern, that he was going to look to dink it left-footed.
Huddersfield have a free kick that's launched towards the penalty area and headed on. And it was an opportunity, it was a tough opportunity, but Redmond was coming in, he's volleyed it into the crowd.
Well, he looked second favourite when the ball was travelling from right to left. It was excellently to make it up, just a hopeful ball slung in there from Wiles. And they get that first touch. And yeah, a little bit slow to react. I think Lewis and maybe Foden there as well. Breaks up the ground.
Gonzalez sees a little gap. They get vertically up the pitch quickly this time, City, and Oscar Bob pulls the trigger. Another good save by Lee Nichols.
I just wondered as to whether Foden could drive there once he got turned on the ball. He's been waiting for an opportunity to find space. He'd found it there. Just flashed it towards the near post, looking square.
Better work by Kasumu in the midfield there for Huddersfield. Near Castledine. And he goes for a goal. That was optimistic. We say he can score a good goal. Saw the glory there before his eyes.
Well, it's the wrong choice ultimately, but it's really positive, and we've not seen any of this. Players driving with the ball, it's good play, just need to shift it to one of those Huddersfield teammates in support. Those opportunities have been limited. Why not?
Dangerous to a teammate who wasn't surrounded by players.
There's no thrills, is it? But the two central midfield players would have got through a lot of work. Boston, Kasumu just shuffling side to side, cutting off the passes into the likes of Foden, O'Reilly and Lewis. I mean, they've essentially been the two players playing, I would say, unfamiliar roles, but they're both midfielders by trade, I believe. O'Reilly certainly. They've been really pushed on with the ball for City, but it's just so congested there. They've not been able to really get in for too many opportunities to create or shoot.
Savinho. They work it to Nunez in the penalty area. He tries a shot. Then a little bit of pinball comes to Foden again. Now Savinho, can he get a shot away? Yes, he can. What a finish, what a goal. The quality has shone through, and Manchester City surely doing enough to go through.
Well, it certainly felt like it's been coming. And Foden celebrates with Savinho. He's the architect of this second to add to the beautiful goal in the first half. It actually could have been shifted a little bit quicker by Phil Foden. He takes a touch, ricocheting around, takes that touch, surveys his options, and Savinho's still got Sorensen to breach and the goalkeeper Nichols, but it's pure power, smashes it off the underside of the bar. It's a really good finish from Savinho, who's looked in the mood since the break, and City now with that cushion, surely for a safe passage into the next round. Beautifully, just couldn't get it close enough to the corner. Nichols comfortable, parrying it to safety. Uses that decoy run and Reinders down the outside, and as you can see there, Nichols comfortable, even pushing it into a spot where a Huddersfield player was waiting.
So Lee Grant will look upon this. It'll be fascinating to see what he says about it. I mean, there's plenty of things to compliment his players on. They put a lot of effort in, they put a strong shift in, and they come up against a very, very good team. Ultimately, Manchester City had too much for Huddersfield